All right, sixth grade, we're getting closer. Fun parts right now are going to be just to sort of clean up some details prior to adding your background footage where your green screen used to be. So after the last stage, you should have something that looks roughly like this, where you have the divided clips, where every time the human form of you speaks, you've turned down the audio, and every time the avatar is speaking, the audio is normal. And they should sort of be alternating, so you should have something that looks roughly like this. One thing that's kind of handy is to show you if you ever wanted to increase the size of the clips so you can see them a little easier. You can condense or expand them. It's kind of a handy feature with editing. Um, and what I'm going to show you how to do is I think it might be a good idea for you to do a run through and see if the space for you to talk in the culmination is actually enough. Then stay with it. But if you feel like it seems rushed or it's hard for you to get, sorry. Drew, please come to the front desk. If you feel like there's not enough time, I'll show you a trick where you can actually expand the time a little bit. So, for instance, right here,
my name is Lio. You must.
If that space feels okay, you can leave it. If that space feels a little tight, what you can do is you can click on it, and you can go up here to this little icon here, and you can go to slow, or actually go down to custom. And then what you can do is change the rate here. So if I maybe say I want to make that 80% instead of 100, it'll just slightly slow it down. Gives you a little bit more time right in there. Now the catch is if you slow that down a lot, like if I slowed that down to 20%, you have a lot more time, but watch what happens to the video. Whoops. Do it again, 20. Okay. But then the video footage of Matilda up here gets slowed and down into slow motion. So
you must believe me. Your future is in grave danger.
You can kind of play with that, but know that there are limits,
Just
and
hear me
otherwise
out.
your video might look a little strange. But if it's really hard for you to do in the time allotted in the video, you might want to play around with this a little bit. So that's the first thing I want to show you. Next thing I want to show you is if you have any details that you want to fix, like I think there's a space right in there where I noticed that someone put their arm over, and it's not perfect, but what I've done is I've actually spliced that area. I'm just going to click, and I'm just going to delete it out. And you might see that Matilda might jerk a little bit. You see how it's not perfect. It's not seamless, but I think in the course of the movie you really won't see those things. But if you have any elements like that, you can get rid of them. And then the last thing I want to show you to do is if you want to add an opening title to introduce it, where maybe you introduce your name, your avatar's name, what you can do is you can click and do Command A or select all and do all the clips. And actually, I want to go back one step. Let's unclick this. I'm going to go under T for titles or for text. And then under titles, you can pick something that you want to use for your intro. Like if I pick this kind of Star Boogie Lights thing, and I drag it over here all the way to the beginning for maybe your opening thing, you're going to have something that looks like this, where it's the title. But you might need to, because this is going to be you speaking, you might need to provide a little bit more space for that title to happen before you start speaking. So what you're going to do is if you click and you hit select all, Command A, and you go up to this little handy thing called position, you can actually slide all of these over to the left a little bit and give yourself some space. Then if I click off, and now I just click the title, I can actually move this over and I can stretch it out a little bit. All right. And then by highlighting it, you can actually type in whatever your title is. You have a comma in there. Avatar. I don't know, whatever your title is going to be. So then when you play it through, and you could actually do several of these back to back to back, where it could be like avatar, and then it could do another one that could say like, you know, your name and your avatar's name.
My body is.
So that's the how to add text and title. They're all different templates here. There's a lot to choose from. There's even, I think, a Star Wars one that's pretty cool. Okay, last step is going to be, and I'm just going to do this basic step. I might give you one more video to get more specific for your video, your YouTube video clips. But what's really, really cool is I just have this kind of footage here of space. So when you drag this down actually below the timeline, where's it going? This becomes the background. So mine's not long enough, so I'm just going to show you if I just did a bunch of copy and paste right next to it. Kind of working. There it goes. All right. Okay, so now if you see when you play this through, the spaces in the background,
Hello, Matilda.
and there's Matilda floating in space.
I embody your spirit in a different dimension in the future. My name is Lio. You must believe me, your future is in grave danger.
And that is the basic gist of how the green screen works. So you'd be putting all of your YouTube footage below here, and I will show you how to get your YouTube stuff in there next. And then the last thing you can play with is sound. So you can look for different songs either from your iTunes. I don't know if you have anything in the iTunes library, but there's also just things, iMovie sound effects and iLife sound effects. You can look under jingles, and these sometimes are a little bit longer. Sometimes you might have to put things back to back, but you can play them. But let's say you like that. You can then actually drag this down. Let's see here. And you can put this under that as well. But if you play that all at once, you'll notice that the video or the audio is going to be way too loud. So you're going to have to duck out this audio.
My name is Lio. You must believe me.
So you barely can hear it, but you can hear the text, or you hear the voices more.
Just hear me out.
And that's pretty much it. With all this knowledge, you should be able to construct your avatar videos. But please don't hesitate to ask questions. But please watch this video thoroughly and start and stop it and rewatch if you need to look at something again. Okay, good luck.